What's on the other side? A cow colony or those apartments or what?
We're all set.
Open space. The
Macdowell.
Macdowell colony.
All right, it's 5 o'clock. You don't want to wait to see if anybody else is going to show up?
It is a very exciting agenda.
Yeah, sorry. Henry.
November 1st, one more month clicked off of 2022. Welcome to the Peterborough Select Board meeting. I'm Tyler Ward. With me at the table are fellow Select Board members Bill Kennedy and Bill Taylor, and we have Town Administrator Nicole McStay here with us. We are live on Ustream and Channel 22, of course.
And YouTube.
And YouTube.
Yes.
Right. And of course, all these meetings are always archived for future viewing. If anybody in the audience does want to participate at any time throughout the evening, I'll call on you. Just please state your name for the record. Tonight's agenda will discuss the sale of town-owned property pursuant to RSA 41:14, the acceptance of gifts pursuant to RSA 31:95-E, and then we'll hear from Lisa Betz, Director of Recreation Department, regarding posting no hunting signs on recreation property, and then there's Office of Highway Safety Grant. Anybody yearly discussing that, Nicole?
Yes.
Or Chief's not going to? And or Seth is not.
No, this is a police department.
Police, but I had two out of the three. And then a possible appointment of Andrew Dunbar to the Greater Downtown TIP. That would be it. So first up, is there a public hearing?
It is.
So at this point, I would make a motion to go into public hearing for sale of town-owned property.
Hold on for that seconds.
All those in favor, aye. Do we even do that?
Yes.
We do?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm only 8 years into this.
Well, we don't sell town property very often. This is unusual. This is the piece that we are talking about. It is adjacent to 730 Greenfield Road. It is a 1-acre parcel that the town acquired via tax deed in the 90s. The town has had it ever since then. It's too small of a lot to be buildable in the rural district. Rural district requires 3 acres at a minimum. It's also very wet. The only upland really is back here, and which is the property that the former property owner of 730 built into, unfortunately, without our knowing it. He obviously crossed the boundary line, built a shed back here. All of this is mowed land. When the current property owner bought 730 earlier this year, in late summer, they discovered that the 3.2 acres that they thought they had bought did not actually include this whole chunk here. So they were very distressed. They reached out to us, and we said we'd be more than happy to sell that property to you. Please make an offer. The offer that they've made is for $3,000, which is a reasonable offer for a piece of land in a rural district that is essentially unbuildable. The benefits here are that not only does the town not have to begin monitoring to this piece and force the property owners to remove their driveway and that shed, it also brings their property into greater compliance because they'll now be able to meet setback requirements for their existing property, and we won't have to continue worrying about a trespass. Also puts that property back into the tax rolls. So, all good things.
Any questions from the board? We did discuss this in our non-public session. So.
Yep. I have asked the Planning Board, Conservation Commission, and the Heritage Commission to provide their input as required by statute. The Conservation Commission has notified me that they're not meeting again until the 17th, which is after the public hearings, but before you make your final vote. So I felt that was adequate.
Okay. Any questions from the crowd?
Just one at a time, please.
Raise your hand so I can see it.
Sure.
with the ledger transcript, but so I don't have like a stake in this. I'm just curious, how does somebody not know where their property line is or what about that
That's
land?
It's a great question.
Excellent question.
Yeah, not entirely sure. I do know that the house that was originally here at 730 burned down and was reconstructed. And I believe that when it was reconstructed, it had always been very close to the property line. I think it may have actually moved a little bit closer. And then through the next succession of property owners, you can kind of see through looking at the aerial photography that there has been just progressive encroachment. So.
That's a good question. Nobody knows. They didn't look at this map, that's for sure.
None of the realtors caught it, and
Unbelievable. But this doesn't even, there's even more driveway and parking area towards the back of it. It's not even on this map. Pretty, anyways.
Well, this will clean all that up. So.
Yep.
and the land just to the southwest. Is that private property or is that town?
This here,
Yes.
that's private property. It's a house there. There's a house right across the street.
Right. So this little quarter acre lot, whatever, 1 acre lot,
lot.
doesn't connect to any other town?
It doesn't. Yeah. This property owns all the way back and around it, so.
But we couldn't get a bidding war going between that one and that? No. Okay. I would make a motion to accept the $3,000 offer and sell this property to the...
We're not quite there yet. You can just close the public hearing for tonight. We have
Right.
another public hearing scheduled in 2 weeks. And then a week after that, you'll be able to hold a meeting and finally make that vote.
Someone might have a good reason not to do it. Right.
Get that check in time for Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, then I make a motion to close that public hearing. Take no further questions.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, on to your second public hearing.
Yes. The acceptance of gifts.
This is pursuant to RSA 3195C or E or whichever one it is.
Let's see.
You'd like to open the hearing?
Make a motion, we open the public hearing regarding acceptance of gifts to the town of Peterborough under RSA 31:95-E.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And this is the first public hearing of the acceptance?
This is the only one.
The only
So you
one.
only have to hold one to accept a gift. Lisa, if you want to.
This Adam died in 2008. His parents approached Bill Taylor a bit ago, and Bill got a hold of us and wanted to build this bench and place it on a concrete slab near the skate park at 64 Union. The Peterborough Rec thought it'd be a good idea. I think it'd be a great idea. And now it's before you to see if we would accept that.
Now they're gonna provide the bench and the funds to have it installed.
Yep, they would like a dedication in May, if we can do it.
Adam's a big time skateboarder, was involved when the skate park was first built.
Where will this bench be? By the skate park? of
By the
course,
skate
right?
park. We don't have a delineated site yet because we're in process of hopefully receiving more monies to do some remodifications to the current skate park, which will come your way shortly. And then based on the layout of how the skateboard park itself turns out, we will then place the bench. But it will be right in back near the skate park.
So we'll learn more about the skateboard park itself in the near future.
Yes. Yep.
I make a motion that we accept the gift of this bench.
So,
Any other questions from the audience? All right. It's certainly sad, but kind that they're gonna look at it.
yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Perfect, thank you.
Great, thanks, Lisa.
Okay, we continue on.
Yes. We're gonna hear from Lisa again about hunting, or not.
Or not. I was walking the property out near the PRD property out near Macdowell Road and came across a tree ladder stand platform, whatever you guys call them. And it wasn't very far from the road. It probably has 300 yards from Macdowell and the other property, but certainly not 300 yards from the road. And we should not have any hunting on rec property, is my belief. And there is a chapter out there, chapter 157, that says that property, hunting is not allowed on town property with a few exceptions. And I reached out to Nicole and she verified that hunting should not be here.
Okay. Sure, it's not just a bird watching.
I don't know what it's for. It could very well be for the kids. I doubt it. I was walking the property with a Primex risk manager at the time, and he thought it was a decent tree stand, so it's not just something that's jury-rigged by some kids who want to climb a tree and watch birds. But for me to tell you it's not for bird watching, I can't do that.
But either way, if it is for bird watching, that doesn't involve hunting anyway, so
Right.
it'd be covered. Now, sorry, this is actually on town recreation property that someone built? So will it be dismantled and taken down?
Yes.
I would assume?
You can't do that until you post the no hunting signs.
Gotcha.
Then we'll be able to go out there, dismantle it, leave a note telling them where they can go to pick up their ladder.
Okay.
The Primex guy was pretty psyched to see it.
Well, I totally missed it. He's like, oh, look right there, there's a hunt. I'm like, wow.
That can't be on our property.
I'd like to think that it's not a hunting platform. I mean, that's
Well, you
so
and me
close
both.
To all this, I mean,
There's a lot of deer in there,
Yeah,
though.
that's the
well, that's
spot.
true, that is good.
We're gonna hear from
Millions of
somebody
them go through there.
on Facebook, oh, they took down my hunting. Of course,
I
it
don't
was
know.
a secret.
That was illegally placed on somebody
Yeah,
else's
right,
property without
exactly.
permission. I don't know that we'll be hearing from them.
That's what I
There certainly is plenty of town property where hunting is allowed.
According to the Primex rep, and he wasn't sure if he was mixing up his states, but when you put up a tree stand, you're supposed to label it as, you know,
Yeah,
this
with
is,
your name on it.
Yeah.
this is Cozell Betz's tree stand, sort of deal. There was nothing like that.
I'm sure there wasn't.
All right, well, I'd make a motion to approve the no hunting signs being posted on town recreation property.
Second.
Anybody object to this out there? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, good work, Lisa, thanks.
Thank you. Oh, the grant. Yeah.
All right.
So the highway grant is one that, highway safety grant is one that, up until this year, the police chief has been able to apply for himself. This is money that comes from the federal government and is distributed down at the state level. So the federal government's in the state then, has essentially, I think it's divvied up by population. And then each police department can make a request for whatever their grant limit is to go towards highway patrols. Apparently this year, new rules went into effect requiring that a select board chair essentially apply for the grant and not the police chief is not allowed. Town administrator apparently is not high ranking enough, so you'll have to sign, unfortunately, a lot of pages.
Good thing I showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is $8,529.22. As stated, it goes towards highway patrols and some of the equipment involved and, essentially catching
Radar detectors.
Radar is one of them.
Good. All right, we need a motion, or I just need to sign.
You need a motion to sign it and to appoint you or name you as the signing employee.
I probably should make that motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that Tyler is authorized to sign the highway.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Aye. Clearly no objections.
No.
Great. Next up, does anybody know Andrew Dunbar?
I do.
Believe I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who? Exactly who is he?
Apparently he wants to volunteer on the downtown TIF
Yeah, that crew is meager at this point. They really need some new blood, so.
He'll be on as the planning board rep, is that right? I believe that's right.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because he doesn't live within the TIF district.
Right.
He's about as close as you can get, right?
No, it ends at the fire station property. on
Oh,
Summer
he
Street.
lives-
So he didn't
Just bring it up from there.
What was your question?
He's gonna be the planning board rep on the TIF,
I realized there was a planning board rep on the GD2.
planning board rep and a EDA rep on each of those.
Right. Right, okay. Oh, I see, that's right, okay.
I didn't realize there was a planning board rep on the.
So he's on the planning board and now he's going to be the rep on the GD2.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I guess that would be.
He didn't want to join us to say why he wanted.
He used to be a regular attendee of these meetings at one point, didn't he?
Yeah. That's true. All right, I'd make a motion to appoint Andrew Dunbar to the Greater Downtown TIF.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Any other business? Anybody have anything exciting to share?
Not really. I can report on the select board advisory meeting that we had with Carpenter School Board. The majority of the meeting was to discuss the status of the Tarbell district and many others suit against the state to provide an adequate amount of money for education. They're going through depositions at this point, and trial is scheduled for next April. So there's a lot of shenanigans going on, and we're. In any case, if you want any details of that, Kimberly Saunders is more than happy to attend any one of our meetings if we want detailed information. What are we gonna do?
Kind of wait it out. Yeah, it won't really inform any decisions we're going to make about tax, our budgeting coming up. Yeah.
Curious, who, is the school district paying for the legal battle?
At one point, the school district was awarded attorney's fees from the state, but then that got overturned. So currently, yes, the school district is actually paying for whatever legal advice they're getting from counsel.
But it could be worth it if there's progress in it.
Could be.
Right? Hopefully.
I won't state my opinion.
Wonder if that lawyer's working on contingency.
Gee, I wonder.
Okay. Motion to adjourn. So moved. Seconded? See you
Yeah.
later. All right, thanks.
Wow, that was
18
Hard
minutes.
hitting,